We recently polled all of our YouTube subscribers and asked if you could only bag one disc from Gateway, what would it be? And I knew before I asked that the Wizard would win the poll, but I was caught off guard by it getting over 65% of the vote. So, what exactly is it about the Wizard that makes it so popular? We'll find out, because the disc is in the details. Hey everyone, it's Greg from Six Sided Discs. If you're enjoying our Disc is in the Details series, please consider supporting us on Patreon or by picking up one of these sweet Disc is in the Details custom stamps from Thought Space Athletics. Find them all at sixsideddiscs.com. Now, back to the Wizard. Gateway introduced the Wizard way back in 2002 when I was a freshman in high school. Yikes. By now, the Wizard is famous for its rounded rim, big bead, giving it a chunky but comfortable feel in the hand. But its shape is hardly unique. The Discmania Link and Shogun look similar with big beads. The DGA Steady isn't far off. And the MVP Ion is basically considered an overmold Wizard. So if it's not the shape that makes it unique, what is it? Well, perhaps it's the flight. The Wizard is rated at 2 speed, 3 glide, 0 turn, and 2 fade. And off the tee, those flight numbers are spot on. In multiple plastics, it has a little bit of glide and a steady, reliable fade. But there are plenty of overstable putters on the market. In fact, we've thrown a bunch of them. Like the Mint Discs Bullet, the Dynamic Discs Judge, the Clash Discs Fudge. But I think it's safe to say that the Wizard isn't one of the most popular putters because of how it flies. It's popular because of how it putts. Just how good is it at putting? Well, that's something I will personally learn about in the coming weeks and months. You see, I suck at putting. I always have. In the past few days, I began putting with 5 different putters, including the Wizard. And while tracking the statistics on those putts, things are not looking good. My current percentage from 27 feet is only 21%. But why am I talking about these statistics and why am I tracking all that data? Well, you may recall last year our channel hit 5,000 subscribers. And to celebrate, we threw a disc 5,000 times to see how much it would change when beat in. Well, this year we expect to hit 10,000 subscribers. And I am going to attempt 10,000 putts. We're tracking every single putt, and by the end, we'll know my exact putting percentage down to 2 decimal places for each of those 5 putters, as well as the overall total. And here is where you can play along. We want you to guess what my final putting percentage will be between all 5 putters, and the closest guess will receive a mystery box of their choosing from our website, valued between $54 and $64. This will be the only time I tell anyone what my putting percentage is until we're done making all 10,000 putts. You can enter by completing the form on our website at the link in the video description. And let's get back to the Wizard, because what really sets it apart is the plastic. To better understand Gateway's plastics, we need to learn a little bit more about the brains of the operation, Gateway owner Dave McCormick. And who better to learn about him from than somebody who has their discs manufactured by Gateway? We recently interviewed AGL owner Josh Jones for our podcast All Six Sides, where he told us a little bit about what it's like to be partnered with Gateway. Coming back to Gateway for just a moment, we talked a little bit about how you kind of ended up with them. I'm curious, as a partner, then, as your molding partner, how much influence and say do you have in the development of a new mold? Are you, I know Gateway has like a huge selection of prototypes. Are you able to offer, a lot of feedback on like what you're looking for? Do they give you some stuff to choose from?
Yeah. Yes to all of those, actually. So there have been times in which I come at them, from that team input, like, hey, we do need the overstable mid. What do you guys have available in molds right now? And he can go, well, I could take this top and this bottom, and we could do this and do that, and it's probably going to be pretty overstable. We try it out. You want to see? And we're like, sure. And so, Dave is very quick. He's certified genius, literally. I mean, his IQ is just out there. His ability.
Dave McCormick, of course, the owner of Gateway you're referring to.
Yes, Dave McCormick, the owner of Gateway. His ability to find ways to mix polymers that probably wouldn't normally go together, or people are still like, how did you do that? How did you mix nylon into the polyethylene? And it's really unique and I've learned a lot from him in a lot of ways. But there are times in which he will do that, and give us 4 or 5 different variants of this overstable mid-range. And then I will take a couple of those, each variant, right? 4 or 5 of each one. And we divvy those out with our core team members, some of them that are local pros or guys that, we have close by. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And, the more feedback we get, I think that's, like I said, I can't make those decisions myself. I have to lean on people. And so when you start to get a general consensus of a lot of people saying like, hey, it's this, well, then you're like, okay, I guess we're doing that. And so it's a lot easier for me to just feel like, well, this is the way we got to go. And it just feels right. And so then there's times like what we're talking about earlier where we have a current mold out, and then we're talking about, let's make an adjustment to it. So I can then have that input or that level of input or change, I guess, with Gateway to go like, hey, you know what we're going to do? I want to just shave this off right here. Let's just shave it off altogether and just I want to make it at an angle that way. Why, Josh? Well, I do. The guys say it, so let's do it. And then we'll try it out, and it might not work, but it might work. And
so both Dave McCormick and Gateway's willingness to push the envelope and try new things in small batches at Gateway is really what enables them to offer such a dizzying array of plastics, not just for the Wizard, but for their entire lineup. In fact, if you total up just the plastics offered on Gateway's website right now, there are over 18 different plastics. And for the Wizard alone, you can currently order it in the following plastics: Super Soft, or SS, which is part of Gateway's Sure Grip group of plastics. These are all typically used for putting, and Super Soft is, as described, a soft putting plastic with a nice grip. Super Stupid Soft, or Triple S, which is a softer blend. And of course, Super Stupid Silly Soft, which is extremely soft and grippy plastic. They also offer Hemp, which is blended with both Sure Grip or Diamond blends, Diamond being Gateway's premium plastic. The hemp typically adds firmness as well as a grittier surface. They also have Money Plastic, a shiny, gummy blend that ranges in stiffness from SS to quadruple S. Eraser, such as the one we have here, which is a special mix of polymers that creates a tacky, grippy rubber blend that feels, you guessed it, a lot like an eraser. They also have Lunar, a flexible, grippy putting plastic, excellent in colder, wet conditions. Special Blend, which varies from time to time as new batches are tested. In fact, special blends are usually numbered so you know which special blend it is. Super Glow, which is Gateway's glow plastic that comes in different levels of stiffness. And finally, Pure White, which are typically stiff, slightly more overstable blends of Sure Grip plastic. So that's at least 9 different plastics, not necessarily including the different levels of stiffness that are available that you can get for a Wizard right now on January 31st, 2024. This is a huge variety of plastics, and if you combine that with now over 20 years of pedigree and word of mouth and player experience to share, the Wizard is understandably one of the most popular putters on the market. Take a moment to think about the putter that you use. Exactly how many different plastic options does your manufacturer offer for like a stock version of that putter at any given time? Just off the top of my head, I was able to count the following: 4 stock plastics for Discraft, depending on the mold, including Putter Blend Soft, Hard, Jawbreaker, or Rubber Blend. 3 to 4 for Innova, DX, R Pro, KC Pro, and XT. 2 for Castoplast K3 or K3 Hard, about 3 for Trilogy, Prime, Classic, or Classic Soft. Now, granted, sometimes they have like Mega Soft available, but I'm talking about something that's available all the time. 3 for MVP, Electron Soft, Electron and Firm, and at least 4, maybe 5 for Prodigy, 200, 300, 300 Soft, 350, 350G. Now, does that mean that other companies should make as many plastics as Gateway? Probably not. This is obviously one of the advantages of Gateway being fully in charge of their own supply and manufacturing, and they can afford to take chances and mix new blends and make small batches of discs and see what works. But if you're producing discs in the quantity that companies like Discraft or Innova or MVP are nowadays, it's a lot harder to experiment with something new. But if they could, comment below. What would you like to see different from your favorite putters manufacturer? Could they be offering a better variety of plastics for you? And if you're a fan of the Wizard or Gateway for that matter, let us know in the comments. What plastic do you like, and what other discs should people try from Gateway? Remember, the disc is in the details. For Six Sided Discs, I'm Greg. We'll see you in the next one. Well, perhaps? Exactly. Okay. And if you're a fan of the Wizard or anything from Gateway for that matter, let us know in the comments. What's your favorite plastic, and what discs are people sleeping on that Gateway has really created some gems? Let's re-record that. If you like this content and want to see more, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, or supporting us on Patreon. Your support makes this content possible.